Hello, McCastle here, and welcome back. Um, Off camera, we worked on the colony just a little bit. Like I had mentioned, we got a warehouse up and going here, as well as a courier's hut. And with the time lapse you just saw, we got our guard tower finished too. So that, I think, gives most of our guys a job. So let's see, we got two builders, a courier, and a guard. Yeah, so all of our initial colonists have a job. So um, now what we need to do is we need to build some housing and some way to get food, like we talked about. So we'll get our builders working on a house, and then on I've got a restaurant lined up over here, right? So we'll get them working on that, and then while they're doing that, we'll take a look at some Tinker's Construct, get us some better tools so we can get mining and get a few things laid out there. So let's get started. So I've already laid out the house location here, um, and the cook or the restaurant location here. So I'll go ahead and help them clear it. I gotta get them started on it actually. So we'll probably do. Can't manage that. Build options. We'll do Jane over here on the cook. She's a little closer, and we'll do Guadalupe over here. Um, let's see, build options, Guadalupe. All right, so I'll go get the materials for them started, and then I'll meet you where we're gonna. I think we're gonna do our build onto the side of the castle here for our, or at least next to the castle here for our kind of Tinker's Construct build that'll have our smeltery and all that in it. So let me get the resources, get them started, and I'll catch you over there.
Alright, welcome back. I may have gotten a little distracted. It's actually been quite a while since I recorded the intro, but we're here and we're ready to start working on this. I decided to add it to the end here of the castle, different side from where I talked about originally, but I think this is where it's going to fit a little bit better. So we're going to do the very basics, first basic things for Tinker's Construct. And basically, we can use it to make custom tools and armor and such that kind of have different abilities based on the different materials they have. So the first thing you need to do is gather some clay, sand, and gravel. Sorry, clay, sand, and gravel to make grout. And get that kind of cooking because we're going to need these seared bricks. Now actually, they've changed quite a bit since 1.12. I've consolidated a few things and whatnot, but I guess you don't actually need this to get started. We'll start here. So if we come in here, we're going to actually craft a few different things. First off, we need to make some patterns. Now, this is kind of the basic thing used to make different parts of your tools using this, but we actually need them in the recipe for a couple of different stations. So first we're going to come in here and create our Tinker station now. You can use whatever wood you want. It actually changes the pattern below, which I think is pretty cool. Now, the Tinker station is where you actually assemble your tools. And you can upgrade this later to be able to create bigger, better tools and whatnot. But these kind of first 7 basic tools you can create with this Tinker Station. Now, to make those, we need to make the individual parts. Which, if we come in here, flip it down, we need to create a part builder. Right, so part builder is just 2 patterns and 2 wood planks. Actually going to need to create a few more patterns here, and like that, and there we go. I have a part builder now. Before you need a part builder, you need a stencil table, and I think one more thing, but they've consolidated down to essentially just these two, a tinker station and a part builder. So with the part builder, if you enter any of these stations along here, as long as you've got them connected to each other, you can actually switch back and forth without having to unclick and reclick, which I think is pretty awesome. So first thing, let's get some materials. Actually, let's grab. Usually, when you start the game with Tinker's Construct, unless it's disabled in configs, you get this materials in U book, and I've kept it from when I first started. And it's a good place to start. It's got an introduction, nice little kind of in-game lore type stuff. Fits really well, and kind of runs you through all of these different recipes, what you're gonna need, and kind of how to work them. But we're going to skip to this first tier 1 materials, and as you can see, there's some other mods. This is Twilight Forest. There's other mods that add materials in this dynamically, which I think is pretty cool, but these are kind of the basic materials you can use with just the part builder. Right? So wood, stone, flint, bone, copper, leather, string, and vine. And then these subsequent pages here, they'll just actually tell you what they do, their different durabilities, their different harvest tiers, and whatnot. So let's go ahead and let's create a part. I think I'm gonna need. We had a lot of this cherry wood from working in our forest here. Let's grab some stone. And then I think copper was the most, right? Yeah, copper. So let's grab some copper. Bone. And some flint. I think we'll make a few different tools and whatnot. Just kind of look at what they use. So, the different parts give different benefits or not benefits, right? So, which is, if you're used to the tools from the previous versions, this has changed quite a bit. I think it's a little bit more balanced, which I think is nice. But we essentially we're looking for something that has a higher harvest tier, right? So basically, if it's iron, that means it can harvest iron. So we're going to make a copper pickaxe. And obviously I have an iron pickaxe which has a diamond mine level, but that's okay. So here we pick which pattern we're trying to make, and then we can just click here. It consumes the pattern and the parts. Now I need to make some more patterns, obviously. Maybe just sleep real quick. Sleep real quick, I'll make a few more patterns and I'll meet you back over there. Alright, here we go. So let's look here. So let's see what the different things are. So dwarven, making it out of mine means it mines faster the deeper we mine, which is pretty cool. So we're going to use this copper one to go mining down below in our deep slate. This will be really good. Leather. String. You see, the nice thing about these extras is it doesn't actually change the stats anymore. So string might be a good one just because you can use string to repair the tool. Or say, stonebound's nice too. It mines faster as it wears out, but does less damage. So this is kind of better for tools. This is better for weapons, right? Because jagged does basically opposite. It does more damage as it loses durability, but decreases mining speed, right? So these have lower modifiers though for their durability on the handle. Whereas wood is a one-time modifier, which is the best that we have. of the tools available for this lowest tier. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a wooden handle. Now I could use this or I could use this, it doesn't matter. This. And then I think we're going to use string as the binding agent. That's the middle one. So if we come in here, need a pattern, need our tool binding, need string. Right, so now, the other nice thing is those will actually stay in there, which is cool. So say we want to create a pickaxe. We got our handle, our string tool, and our copper. Now, I don't know if this is just because they haven't updated it yet, or if it's something to do with the shaders, but they used to actually do different colors based on what you had the materials here, but it's all white. So I don't know if they'll fix that or change it, but you can see it's got 210 durability, and then it's got all the different additions to based on the materials or the tool, right? So let's go ahead and craft that. Sweet. Now the next part that is nice about the Tinker's tools, you've got the materials they're based out of, and there's different benefits for using different tools. But then also they have these what they call modifiers, right? So traits are things that you get based on the material you use. Upgrade are different items you can apply to it, and so on and so forth. So if we come in here, it doesn't give me a list of the modifiers. That's funny. Maybe the next one does. Anyway, I know one I'm going to use, just based on my experience. And maybe we'll craft the next book and see if it shows us better. But redstone usually increases the mining speed or attack speed. So if you see here, it adds haste, which basically makes it faster. So if I take this away, you can see our mining speed's 5. Now it goes up to 9. I can add hastier. You can see I have a certain number of upgrades and abilities that I can add to it. So this is an upgrade, right? So I can take it all the way up to hastier, which takes my mining speed up to 13. Then I can use my last modifier if I want, and make it even faster. Now, there's some other really good ones. So let's actually take a look here. Leave that on there. Another one at least this is, I haven't checked to see if this is still the case, but we'll see. In the past, the lapis lazuli did luck. Killager damage. That is not what I... Increases damage against villagers, illagers, and long-nosed creatures. Well, that's not really what I care to do. So we might have to do some investigation there, but for now we'll leave this other one up. Let's try to craft the next whatchamacallit, next guide. So if I go in here to the end, puny smelting is the next available one. So we need grout and book. Now I used all my grout here. So let's make another one real quick. So clay, sand, and gravel right there. And just a regular book. Oops. Now, there we go. Puny smelting. tier tools. So essentially, this gets into materials that need to be cast, so basically metals. And the melter is actually a very small version of the smeltery, or now the what do they call it? Forge or foundry. Anyway, it's pretty cool that they've got kind of a lower tier one, because before you had to create a very large multi-block structure, which we will be making. But essentially, to create the basics of this, you need 34 seared bricks. But first, let's check out here. Upgrades. Interesting. Haste. Let's put it slower. Light speed. Lines well lit, blocks faster. Okay. So here's all the different upgrades. So we come in here. It doesn't look like they have a lucky one anymore. Interesting. Anyway, so come in here, they'll tell you all the different modifiers and things like that. So let's go ahead and create one of these basic melters. So if we come in here, in puny smelting, we need a heater, the melter tank, and a faucet off the two things. So if we come in here, our seared heater is just basically bricks in the form of a furnace. The seared melter is a tank with a boat shape. We've got glass for that. And then we need a table, a casting table, and a casting basin if we want to dump ingots into it. And then we want some faucets, which 3 like this will give us 3 faucets. So if we set that up like what we had before on that other one, we're going to set the heat source down, melter, we'll do casting basin there, casting table there. Perfect. We got our basic meltery, which we can then use this to melt and make stronger tools. So we come in here. These are kind of the tier tools. These are the ones that require melting, right? So iron, seared stone, bloodbone, slime wood, lead, silver, which are from other mods, white stone, which I don't know how you make white stone, necrotic bone, chain, scorched stone, and slimy vine, right? So different things, right? Made from the strongest iron, sturdy, has a higher durability, has a higher modifier as well on its durability if you use it to handle. Seared stone. Tool mines multiple blocks such as metal ores faster, which is nice if you're going down oring. When your health is low, you hurt more. Right, so you can come in here. There's different things. You have to kind of come in here and read these a little bit different because these are a lot different than what they used to be. But you see there's different upgrades and things like that. So let's go ahead and let's melt some iron and show you how you make a cast. Or let's make some gold, some iron. Actually, I need to sleep so the bad things don't get my colonists. And then we'll check out this melter. Alright, in order to use this melter, we need to add fuel to it. And then we need to add things to get melted. Now, this can't hold very much, but that's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and let's add some iron to this. So it's going to start melting it. Now, the fluids kind of don't work with the shaders very well, so they don't actually show, which is a little disappointing. But normally it'll show you the fluid in there. Hopefully they're working on that. So say I wanted to make an iron, I don't know, let's say a sword. Let's make a nice iron sword. I need to make a sword blade in order to cast it, right? So small blade, and a stone one. Now to make a cast, you put sand. Oh. How do you do this? You put sand down. Maybe you put the part down first. Nope. Sorry. First you need to make a cast, which you just do by putting sand in a crafting grid. It gives you blank sand cast. Sorry, I missed that step. And then you can take and put the sand cast in the casting basin or casting table. Put your part down that you want, and then you can pull your part out, and it leaves your cast. You can then click on the faucet, and it will pour out liquids. Now, normally this shows an animation, but again, shaders are being weird. Anyway, it consumes the cast, and there I have my part. So I have an iron small blade, and I have a stone small blade. And let's see. One ingot left. Let's go ahead and let's melt some more iron and make an iron block out of this. Now the melter can only have one type of metal in it at a time, which can be a little aggravating, which is why eventually we'll need to build ourselves a smeltery. But if we come here, 7, 8, 9, that'll make us be able to pour us out a block. And then we'll use gold to make some permanent casts that we can reuse over and over again. One block, we'll pour it in there. Luckily, Jade shows us what's going on. Even shows the cooling time, which is nice. And there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. So say we wanted a permanent cast. Take this stone blade. We need gold in order to make the cast. So we come in here. Casting can be done with sand, or it can be done with gold. Previously, you used to be able to make it using aluminum brass, but they've obviously changed that, which is fine. So once you've got an ingot of gold and your part to be cast, just click, and it'll actually consume whatever part you have in there, so be cognizant of that and know that it'll utilize that. So now I've got a cast. We can now use this to make as many blades as we want, and we may be doing that later. We might probably create a cast of every kind. If I remember correctly, there's some sort of achievement for that. Use every material, like one of every small default tool. We'll probably be doing that so we can get the achievement. Anyway, so that's how we do that. So if we come in here, we want to make a sword. We need a blade and 2 handles. So we have our iron blade. Let's see. Maybe we want this to be a nice used against against undead creatures, so we can actually put smite on it by using silver. So if we come in here, I know we have some silver somewhere. Gold silver, here we go. Raw silver. Make it so it's got smite. Now that head would have had 300, attack damage of 225. Whereas iron has, oh, should have done a silver blade. It actually is better. I might be actually making this a silver sword. So let's put our cast in here. Put our silver in. Alright, pour our blade. We didn't quite have enough silver. Alright, put some more silver. Alright, now we have a silver blade and an iron one. Now say we didn't want to use this iron anymore, we could actually melt it back down. Though I don't know if it will let it finish melting. Yeah, see, it'll wait until we've cleared out this thing. So let's come in here. Let's use check out our materials here. Let's actually use, like the flint, the jagged makes it so it hurts more. And then the, where are we? Oh. I think we wanted to use probably bone and flint, which sounds a little weird, but I think that's what we're gonna do. So let's use bone, or handle, flint, or handle. Let's take you out. Alrighty. And there is our silver sword. It's nighttime, so let's go use it out on some baddies. Undead baddies. Let's see, there's a zombie up here. Give you a quick view of a few things that I added while we were off camera, which is a little bit more than I expected to do. There's some zombie. Oh yeah. Some nice mite particles. There we go. Anyway, that's it kind of for our start with Tinker's Construct. There's a lot more that we're going to do here. There's some exploring, some world stuff. There's we need to make a smelter. We also need to make a foundry. We'll get into that stuff a little bit more in a separate episode. So that was kind of a weird roundabout way. I thought I'd researched all the different changes, but there's always a few that come up and surprise me. But that's the basics to get started. You can create some nice tools here. The other nice thing about the Tinker's tools is when they break, they don't destroy. They just create a broken version of them, and then you can come repair them here. Which is nice because if you spend all this time creating a nice weapon you really like and then you accidentally break it, it's kind of heartbreaking. So, no pun intended. But anyway, I think we're going to end there, and thank you guys for watching. Hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, as always, leave some comments, and we'll catch you in the next episode.